Today, we are going to show you how to apply for driving jobs at Schneider. In the search bar, we are going to put schneiderjobs.com. This should bring you to this main page here, where it does indicate right away truck driving positions here, and it asks you for a zip code. In this case, we are going to put 54303. When you enter your zip code and you click search, you will see a variety of different jobs that will populate on here. So in this case, if you scroll all the way down, you will see that there's 3 pages full of jobs available for us here. You can filter that to find what you are ideally looking for by using this filter section on the left-hand side of the page. You will see that you can filter by company paid CDL training. This is going to be for candidates that don't have their CDL yet and are looking for some assistance. We have 2 programs, a company sponsored and the CDL apprenticeship. Definitely click on either one of those and we can show you how to complete the application in the next step here. You can also filter with type of haul. You can do dedicated, van truckload, bulk or tanker, or the intermodal/rail. The filter by team or solo, you can decide if you are open to driving with the team or if you have a team partner and you guys want to apply, make sure to filter with that team. Otherwise, you can click solo and we'll make sure to find positions there for you to drive alone. Time at home frequency. In this case, with the zip code that we have, it does show us opportunities for daily schedules, multiple times per week, weekly, every other week, every 3 weeks, and flexible. So make sure you pick the one that best fits your needs. And finally, you can filter by driving experience. If you have less than 3 months of experience, I really recommend for you to click that right away so that it can filter out any jobs that may require some experience. And then no CDL, that one is going to be helpful. Again, if you don't have your CDL, it will filter out for that company sponsored and CDL apprenticeship. Now, if you are on a mobile device, the filters will actually populate at the top of the screen rather than on the side, like on the website. Okay, in this case, I am going to select daily positions in that 54303 zip code. As you can tell, the only position that becomes available now is going to be the van truckload driver instructor. If you don't have that much experience or are not interested in a driver instructor position, but are looking for daily schedule positions, you can click on the job alerts on the lower right-hand corner here if you're on the web. You can click on there and select what is your preferred contact method. You can do email or you can do a text and then fill out your information. If you select an email, the email address box will populate. If you select a text message, the phone number box will populate. So then you can click Get Alerts and you will be notified of any new positions available on our website so that you can either click the link to complete the application or give us a call so that we can give you a little bit more detail on that account. In the next example, I'm going to show you how to complete the application. In this case, I am going to filter out in this case, I'm looking for van truckload positions as a solo driver, and I'm looking to be home on a weekly basis. The position that pops up is going to be the regional van truckload position. If you click on the name of that account, you will see more information on this account. So you will see on here, it does say the top earner pay, what the sign-on bonus goes up to. It does cover the average pay. It has the home time that we saw in the previous screen. We see some more information on here, an overview of the job, the pay and bonus potential, qualifications. So as you can tell, this one does require a valid Class A driver's license. Hazmat is preferred but not required. And then it also covers additional benefits available. So it does talk a little bit about medical, dental, vision. That is something that will get covered more in depth when you go through the application or through the interview process. All the way at the top, you are going to see a black square button that says Apply Now. If you click on that, it will bring you to the beginning of our application. At the very top, it does say already have an account. If you have previously applied and you are interested in applying again, you can select on that. It will ask you to sign in with your username and your password. If you don't remember your username or your password, it does give you the function to request a new password or to get access to be given your username. You can also call us and we can go ahead and send you that link to be able to get that password reset. In this case, we're going back to a new user. And you will want to fill out this information here. So it asks you, it starts out with basic information like your name, your email, and phone number. So go ahead and fill that out. The next page in the application reminds you at the top which account you are applying for. So again, regional van truckload position. And then it does go back and ask a little bit more basic information. We already filled out that first portion with the name, email, and phone number. And we are going to the next one. You will see number 1 is complete and number 2 is ready for us to fill out on the left-hand side here. For your address, make sure to put your current home address. Now it does ask, have you lived at this address for more than 5 years? I am going to select no, so that I can show you the next step. And here it says other addresses in the past 5 years. When we go throughout the application or the interview process, we do like to verify the full 5 years of address history. So please input the last 5 years. At times, I know 5 years is pushing a little bit longer and we may not remember the full address. So if you can please at least put the city and state where you were residing, and we can go over in a little bit more detail when we do the interview. Now, if you go down, it does ask for driver details. It does ask for your date of birth. So in this case, we are going to put a generic date of January 1st of 1990. Just because I know that is at least 21 years old. Now for Social Security, it's not highlighted, so it is not a required field, but it is helpful if it's already completed when we receive the application. Otherwise, this is something that we will go over in the interview and make sure to get inputted, since we will need it when we download your driving record or motor vehicle reports. So in this case, we're just going to put a generic number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that works. Now, current driver's license number. This is also important. This is highlighted. It is marked orange, so it does mean it is required. As you can see, if I click out of it, it does say this field is required. So we do need that before you can submit the application. In this case, I am going to put a Wisconsin formatted license, with usually Wisconsin, the first letter of your last name is the first letter of your license, and then I believe it's 12 digits. So we're just going to put a few different numbers here. Now the next section, it asks what kind of driver's license you have. So if you do have a Class A, make sure that you select this one here, A, and then it does have in parentheses US. If you do not have your Class A and have a regular state license, just select the one from your state. So in this case, I'm going to select Class A. It does ask for the expiration date of your license, so make sure you look at your current license. In this case, we are going to put January 1st of 2023. It does ask what state. We are, for example, putting in Wisconsin. It does ask you for endorsements. The hazmat endorsement, we are going to say no at this time. You can select yes if you already have it completed. So I know at times candidates like to put yes when they're in the process to get the hazmat. I know the hazmat can be a lengthier process, but if it has not been completed, please mark no. Once that process is completed, we can update it to yes. At times, people have attempted to get the HAZMAT and were denied. At that point, you can select denied, and that would be okay. The next one is doubles and triples endorsements. Again, these, if you haven't obtained it, mark no. We're going to select no in this case. And then the tanker endorsement. We are also going to select no, since this regional account did not require any endorsements. The next question says, have you ever held other licenses, or have you held other licenses in the past 5 years? In this case, we're going to say no, but if we click the yes, it does bring this additional box stating other states and license numbers held in the past 5 years. So go ahead and enter the information from the other states. If you do not know the other states' license numbers, it's okay to just leave the state for now. We will go over in more depth during the interview process and potentially give you some ideas on how we can find that additional license number. This next section states, do you have prior military experience, or are you currently active National Guard or Reserve? You can tell this does not have an asterisk, so it is not required to move forward with the application, but it will be very helpful if you do answer this ahead of time so that we can connect you with our military recruiters so they can help you take advantage of Schneider's military benefits, as well as talk about some specific tuition reimbursements programs that we have available for our military members. In this case, we are going to put no. Next one, would you like to receive a copy of your consumer reports from Schneider? As you can tell, this is for specific states only. If you are in those states, please answer that question. Otherwise, you can leave it as not specified. And finally, you will see this last question, were you referred by a Schneider employee? So this is going to be helpful if you have any friends that told you about Schneider. You can go ahead and select yes. If nobody told you about Schneider, you just found us online or you found our video, you can select no. Or it is okay if you leave it as NA. We will go over that information again as we go through the interview process. In this case, we have answered all the required fields, so we are going to select Save and Continue. Step number 3, qualifications. These are 5 questions. Answer to the best of your ability. There is no right or wrong answer. We will go over any additional details that may be needed based on your answers from these questions when we go through our initial review process. Step number 4 is driver history. So again, these are going to be basic questions that are just giving us a better idea of what your driver record looks like so that we know what kind of questions we need to get a little bit more details on when we go through the application or the interview process. Step number 5, work history. In this section, we do ask for you to include all of your commercial driving history for the last 10 years or any work history within the last 3 years, whether that was driving or not. You can go ahead and click the Add Experience button, fill out all that information required. And if you need to add more history, just click on the Add Work History button again and continue adding your additional jobs. When you are done, you can click Save and Continue. In this section, you can go ahead and enter any information from any truck driving schools, whether it was a full course to be able to get your CDL or if it was a refresher course. As long as it was completed within the last 3 years, we do want to make sure you get it included. If you have attended truck driving school more than 3 years ago, even if you have not had experience since then, we do not need you to enter that information. You definitely can, but we will go ahead and just make a note on our side of the interview process. Step number 7 is the ESignature. This is going to be an online acknowledgement and statement, which has a additional information as to giving us permission to be able to use the information you submitted in the application for the hiring purposes. So this is an important part. We do want to make sure that you complete this section on here. You can read and review the information on this document. But if you scroll all the way down, it is going to have a section where it says, do not e-sign until you have read the above statement. And then it gives you some additional information, just stating that you agree to the terms. So definitely make sure that you read that information before you sign. And then in this section here, it does have an asterisk stating that it is required. It does ask for you to state your full name. So we are going to put, in this case, John Smith, and save and continue. So this is going to save the application. Step number 8 is review and submit. So this information goes over everything that we have already filled out during the application from step 1 all the way to step 7. So it does go over here. If there is any section that you realized you entered incorrect information, or you needed to enter additional information, you will see there is a pencil at the top of each different section that you can click on, and it would allow you to edit. So as an example, if we do truck driving school, we can do edit this way, and it brings us back to step number 6. When you are ready to submit this application, you can click the orange submit button. Once your application is submitted, it will be on file for a year from this e-signature date. In this case, our date shows December 9th of 2021. So this application will be active and valid for December 9th of 2022. If you come back and submit a new application and submit a new e-signature, we will go off of that new e-signature date. Once you click submit, you will see that the page directs you to create a password. Make sure that you put a password that you will remember and that it meets the password requirements located on the right-hand side of this web version. This will allow you, if later on you see another job posting that you are interested in, you can go ahead and use that username and password that I showed you in the beginning. You can use this information on that section. Then that way you do not have to re-enter your information. It will automatically link your application to that job you showed interest in. Once you complete the password, you will see the page says last step. To expedite the onboarding process, please click the link and follow the instructions to complete our authorization forms. And then it gives you an orange button with those authorization forms. These are also very important to be completed at the beginning process here when you submit the application, because it allows us that when we get to the interview point, these documents allows us to be able to download your driving record and be able to use that for hiring purposes. All right, we hope this video was helpful to you to get a good idea on how to apply for a truck driving job here with Schneider. But be sure to visit us at schneiderjobs.com to find a driving position near you. And feel free to give us a call at 1-800-44-PRIDE if you have any questions or you would like to speak with a recruiter.